Hello everybody out there, this is Garrett here with 11 Bang Bang, and today we have a Montgomery Ward & Company 16 gauge side-by-side. Today's going to be a lot of shooting and not much talking because there's not a lot of history on this gun, other than we know that it was made for the Montgomery Ward store, and that this is what you would find in most people's, you go back to 1920 in that era, most people, especially farmers, you're going to find one of these behind the door. 16 gauge is a great gauge for a double barrel shotgun because it's lighter, it's more nimble than a 12 gauge, it's more powerful than a 20, and it is definitely one of my favorite shotgun shells. If you guys want to go back and look at the Gun Auction Action 3 video, you'll see where we actually picked this gun up at an auction for a pretty good deal. Without further ado, let's go test this out on the patterning board at 25 yards because it does not say what the chokes are, it just says choke board. So we are going to go see what these chokes are. Okay guys, when you get one of these old 16 gauges or 12 gauges or anything from the turn of the 20th century, early 1900s, you should always check and look down in there and see if you have a 2 9/16 inch chamber or a 2 3/4 inch chamber. This one has a 2 3/4 inch chamber. I can see all the way down to 3 inches where the chamber ends and the bore starts. So we can shoot 2 3/4 inch shells in this. We're gonna pop 2 in. All right, we're at 25 yards here. All right, front trigger should be the right barrel. Let's see what she does. Let's go take a look, see how tight that pattern is and where it hit. All right guys, the front trigger does pull the right barrel. As Paul Harrell would say, you're either right up front or you're left behind. That means your front trigger is right barrel, left triggers or back trigger is your left barrel. But here's what we got here. Our front barrel, which is usually a wider choke, as far as it's usually a modified or even cylinder bore, is a really wide choke. As you can see, we covered the entire board. We have holes from here all the way down to here. So I would say that our front trigger or right barrel, we are dealing with a either modified or maybe even cylinder bore choke. Let's put up another target, go back and do the other barrel and see if we get a little different choke out of it. Let's go take a look. All right guys, we are dealing with what, in my opinion, is probably a full choke on the back barrel. Don't have hardly anything below the paper, 1 or 2 BBs down here. Almost everything is inside of the 5 ring. You're getting a few flyers out here on the outside, but that shot is patterning pretty tight on that back barrel. The reason that is done that way, where your front barrel, your front trigger, is probably a either cylinder bore or modified, is your game getting up right in front of you, your bird, you're want a wider pattern. You don't have to have near as much reach. If you should miss, your second shot on almost all these double barrel shotguns will be a full choke, which will give you a tighter pattern way further out, because by the time you get to the second shot, in theory, your game will be further away from you. But anyway, it looks like this particular gun, we're dealing with a either modified or cylinder front trigger and a full choke back trigger. I really like that back trigger pattern. 25 yards, that's not too bad for 16 gauge. All right guys, so on a lot of these guns, when you open them, it'll automatically kick the safety to the safe position unless somebody has taken your gun and modified the safety, which had actually been done on this gun. This gun actually belongs to my cousin Christopher now, and he's kind of did a little gunsmithing, went in there and actually fixed the safety. So now it actually locks itself back on safety every time, which is a good thing. Open it, close it, click your safety off, you're ready to roll. And it kicks some shells out real good. Those chambers are really nice. Let's shoot a few more rounds. I really like how slick the chambers are on this gun. It's really pretty awesome. I don't know how it would handle aluminums. I don't have any aluminums here right now. I'm gonna turn this over to my cousin Christopher, and since it's his gun, let's let him shoot it.
Got him. Whenever you're ready.
Say when.
What?
Say when.
Oh. Oh.
Oh my. Let's do that again.
I can't believe I did that. Oh.
There we go.
That's a little better.
All right, you want another one?
Yeah, I'm about like Ethan. I like the left barrel better.
Nice shot.
Oh, that was a waste.
Got one more. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, I'm not gonna shoot that one. Not worth it.
Oh. Oh well, it happens. Let's let Caleb have a go at it. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Double for Caleb. He's never shot this gun, so he has no excuses.
Go.
Well, I think you got them both with the first shot.
Whenever you're ready. I would have been sad if I would have missed that.
All right, guys, so we're done here today, I guess, with this. We only brought one box of shells. These are a ton of fun. This gun is probably made, and I don't know who makes it, but the way these department stores work is they would take the high-class gun that a lot of people would pay a lot of money for, and they would, of course, knock the engraving out. It wouldn't get the highest quality of wood and things like that, and they would knock the price down, but it would be the same exact gun as the higher quality guns. And in this case, man, I'm just tickled to death with this, especially the ejection on the chambers, the extraction. Of course, this doesn't have ejectors like some that will just kick them out, but that's okay. That would mean this would actually be legal for cowboy action shooting. But you know, if you can pick one of these up for $300 or $400, maybe a little less like we did, it's well worth it. It's a piece of history. There is probably more of these old double barrel shotguns in people's closets and behind their doors in the 1920s than any other gun. This was the gun of the farmer, the gun of the rural agriculture America at the time, and it's a great piece of history to have. It's great for cowboy action shooting, great for hunting, great for fun. The 16 gauge is a good round, a lot more power than the 20 gauge. At the same time, it's a lighter gun than the 12 gauge. I can wrap my hand clear around the front of this gun, guys. It's handy. A lot of times 12 gauge double barrels do get a little bulky. But anyway, that's all we have for the Wards and Company 16 gauge side by side. Trust in God, keep your powder dry. Thanks for watching. Bye.